Thank you. Rocky?
Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's in the best interest of the General Tribal Council that they're informed through affidavit, what Leah Sue Dodge has provided to the Green Bay court system. Is that information, I think it's public. So I just wanted the General Tribal Council to be aware that she has provided our Constitution, the Seven Gens Corporation Charter, and GTC minutes to them. So just so you know.
Mike?
Thank you. Just quick question and then a comment. My quick question is this. Trish, I know, Melinda, you had stated to Trish that it was a fair question to bring back and compare those numbers 2010, 2012. Do you need a specific date on that? Does Leah need to add a date, or are you just going to bring that back at the next GTC meeting or whenever?
I think it was pretty clear that she's comparing it to 2012 to this report, so I'll have Trish, you could just look at the last couple of years and make sure that the reports are in order.
And then brought back to GTC when?
There is no motion for it to come back, but I think there needs to be some sort of indication, maybe email to Leah or somebody who asked the question.
Okay, so otherwise, possibly she can just amend her motion then or whatever to reflect that date. So that was my question. Thank you. And then my comment was this. With respect to that litigation that was going on with ACF and GCF, I do have a memo that was put out that when that lawsuit was to be settled, GTC would be apprised of the amount. And I know the amount that was specified in the original letter that came from the business committee said $9 million. I don't know if that lawsuit was settled above that amount or below that amount because we were never given that information. We were told it was confidential. I went and spoke to James Bittorf myself, along with another individual, and at that time we were told that that was confidential. That settlement agreement was confidential. Further, as I understood, I asked one question, and the one question I asked was, who is the insurance company that paid that money out? At that time I was told by him there was no insurance company. So now that raised some serious questions in my mind as to where did that money come from and who paid it.
Thank you. I don't have that answer for you, Mike, so I apologize. That would probably have to come back in an additional report. Maybe it's time for us to give another litigation update to the General Tribal Council since there are so many questions around litigation that is currently pending before the nation. So in the annual report section, again, if that's something that you would want, I would suggest that we make that motion to ask for an update. Becky?
I believe I have the right to speak because I'm addressing information that was leveled at me by
the General Tribal Council already made
a.
You need to stop. The General Tribal Council made a motion that said you can only speak once until everyone else has spoken.
Her
Becky
information was off topic.
Becky was not recognized yet, so you need to step back and let her take the mic.
Rocky
Leah,
was
I am
allowed
going
to
to
make
ask you
comments that
again.
were
Please
off
step
topic.
back and let her take the mic. Thank you. Becky.
Thank you for your report. Call for the question.
Thank you for the call for the question. Call for the question means we're going to vote on the motion that's on the floor.
Point of order.
And there is, what is your point of order?
My point of order is that you allowed somebody to make a comment while they were as election board chairman with information about a person, myself, that was off topic. So I have the right to address her remarks.
Point of
No,
order.
you do not have the right to address her remarks. The point of order is that it was off topic and it should have been called immediately when she began talking. I didn't know what
Privileged
she was
question.
referencing at that time. So I
Well, you do
apologize for
now.
letting that discussion go on, but there's a call for the question. That
And
means
so you
there's-
can also
there
make
is-
it right by
there
letting
is
me have
no-
a remark
There is no
about
more
addressing her
discussion.
comments.
There's a call for the question,
You
which
could do
means
the
we're going to.
respectful
Leah,
thing
you
and
need to
allow
get
me
away
to
from the
make a
mic,
remark.
please, or I'm going to ask security to have you sit down, please.
Privileged question.
So there's a call for the question. I actually recognize the call for the question, so we're going to go ahead and vote.
You recognized Leah and myself prior to the call for the question.
I did. I said you were going to be next call, but as you know, a call for the question takes precedence. So we're going to vote on the motion. The motion is to accept the Tribal Treasurer's annual report for FY 2016 as information only.